Hey guys, Gadget Insane here. I want to take a few minutes to do a bit of a walkthrough of this Windows phone that was lent to me with you. It's the Samsung Focus S from AT&T. One of the first things that you will notice when handling this phone is its weight. It's only 110 grams or just under 4 ounces. By comparison, the iPhone 4S is 140 grams. While this phone does sport a 4.3-inch 800 by 480 pixel Super AMOLED Plus screen, I did find the build quality to be quite lacking. It feels like one of those demo phones that you might handle at your local big box store. That is, it feels quite cheap and not very substantial in my hands. The phone is exceptionally thin at 8.5 millimeters, so dropping this once might prove fatal for it. On the front here, you'll find a 1.3 megapixel front facing camera. On the back, an 8 megapixel camera. The bottom here has a micro USB port with a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the top. On the left, you'll find the volume controls, and on the right, you'll find the power button at the top and a dedicated camera button on the bottom. Inside this Windows phone is a 1.5 GHz Scorpion CPU running Windows Phone 7.5 Manga, with this particular model having 16 gigabytes of storage. Finally, it supports evolved HSPA or HSPA Plus with up to 21 megabits per second of speed. So no LTE here, but it's plenty fast enough. Anyway, with the specs out of the way, let's move on to some of the other features of the phone. One of the things that immediately turns me off about this phone is that I have to use the power button on the right hand side to make the phone come out of standby. I can't just press this Windows Start button here to take it out of standby, as you can see here. I have to actually press this power button on the right hand side to take it out of standby. I kind of wish I could just use the Windows Home button to turn on the phone. For me, that would be a lot more natural. Once you slide this up, you'll immediately notice the live tiles that Microsoft refers to as the Metro UI. I refer to it as widgets on steroids. Depending on the tiles that you have on the screen, you can immediately get real-time status from your social networks like Facebook and Twitter, the weather, and a number of outstanding emails in your inbox. Naturally, you can customize the Metro UI any way that you want with your favorite applications. Holding down one of these tiles gives you a context menu that allows you to move, as you can see here, move it around your desktop, or to actually delete it from your Metro UI screen. So we're just going to press this button here. Swiping to the left prompts you with a list of other applications. So scroll up here, you'll see AT&T's specific applications at the top here, and if I keep scrolling down, you'll see some other common applications like calculator, calendar. Scroll down here, there's my Google Mail. And if I want to put that on my front screen here, you just hold that down, and then it gives you some options like pin to start. If I click on pin to start, it'll actually put that on my front screen. And you scroll down here. You notice down here the settings. So if I click on settings, I have things like, my ringtones, Wi-Fi setup, Bluetooth setup. I can set up my email accounts here. So if I go add accounts, you'll see all the common email accounts that you can set up here, like Windows Live, Outlook, and so forth. You get the picture. You also see here you can set up things like your Twitter accounts or your LinkedIn accounts right here in this setup screen. So let me just get out of here. One of the things that really impressed me here was actually the speech recognition. There's really 3 commands that you need to know in order to use the speech recognition on this phone or Windows Phone itself. So you just have to hold down a button. I'm going to use 3 examples here for the purposes of this demo to show you how the speech recognition works. So let's say, for example, I want to open up my calendar. I would just hold down on the Windows Start button here for a few seconds. Open calendar.
Starting calendar.
And there you go. There's my calendar opened up right here. Let's say now I'm stuck somewhere and I need to call a towing company to come and get my car. So let's try getting my towing company. Call Abrams Towing.
Calling Abrams Towing.
Now I just want to stop that because, of course, for the purpose of this demo, I don't actually want to call them, but you get the picture. So now I'm hungry and my favorite food is McDonald's. So let's say I want to find out where the closest McDonald's is in the area. So again, you click down on your Windows Start button here. Find McDonald's. And what it does is, based on my location and the GPS built into the phone, it'll now try to find McDonald's.
For McDonald's.
And there you go. So it's determining my location, searching for McDonald's, and there you go. Here's some links related to McDonald's, but in my local area, these are the McDonald's in my local area. So you see here, it shows the map of where all the local McDonald's are in my local area. And then of course, pictures and things like that. So I kind of really liked using the speech recognition on this phone. I think it was quite cool. Now with Windows Phone 7.5 Manga, it now supports multitasking. And in order to use the multitasking, you just have to hold down on this back button here, and you get thumbnails of all the screens that you were using before. So you just go here and you just bring that up. If I want to go back to my home screen, just click on the home screen there. And these are my tiles all here. So I want to go into Explorer. And it's just loading it up right there, and there you go. Again, I want to multitask back. Just scroll and just go back to one of these screens here, and I'm back to my startup screen. Like any good application, it has its own app store. They refer to it as the marketplace. So you just go in here, and it's pretty responsive. Let's say I want to do a search. It seems like the popular game now is Angry Birds. So let's say I want to find Angry Birds, and there you go. There's Angry Birds as well as some other related games. So that's just an example of using the marketplace. And here you can find music, apps, games, and so on. Some other things that, of course, people would want to do is to look at their camera. So using this dedicated button here, I'm just going to press it right here. And here you go. That's the camera. The other thing is it does support video. It supports 720p video. And that was a picture it took there. So you just go here. Whoops. Let me just go back to my camera. Unless I got out of it. Looks like I got out of my camera. So let's just, whoops, try that again. I want to focus on that mouse. And there you go. Picture taken of the mouse. And then I can just, as you can see, a few pictures of nothing really. So that's really about it. Not too sure how much more I can show you here. I think you probably get the picture. Just scrolling up and down just to show you kind of the speed of the user interface. Anyway, as you can probably tell, in order for Windows Phone to be successful, it's going to need the support of the developer community to create apps and to stay relevant in a space dominated by iOS and Android devices. There's a lot of functionality in Windows Phone OS with this Metro user interface, but it didn't excite me enough to want to commit to using this phone on a daily basis. As well, there's no support for any VPN clients, so if I want to access web apps on my corporate network, it's not possible to do so with the current release of Windows Phone 7.5 Manga. Anyways, I know this was kind of brief, but I hope I gave you a bit of a decent overview of the Samsung Focus S, which is available now from AT&T. Anyways, this is Gadget Insane. Thanks for watching.